We've all heard of King Kong, the iconic giant ape who's been terrifying and captivating audiences since 1933. The image of a massive primate scaling skyscrapers and swatting away airplanes has become a staple of pop culture. But what if, instead of a colossal gorilla, the legendary beast had been a bear? You might think the most likely candidate would be a polar bear, known for its impressive size, or perhaps a particularly large grizzly. While both would certainly be formidable, the real answer for the best bear Kong candidate wouldn't be any modern bear, but rather one that roamed the earth during the Pleistocene epoch, between 2.5 million and 11,000 years ago. This was Arctodus simus, better known as the short-faced bear, perhaps the most terrifying land predator of its time. The story of Arctodus simus begins in the late 19th century when fossils of this enormous bear were first discovered in North America. The initial finds were fragmentary, a few teeth here, a leg bone there, but even these isolated pieces hinted at something extraordinary. Paleontologists quickly realized they were dealing with a bear unlike any seen in the modern world. As more fossils were unearthed across North America, a clearer picture of this prehistoric giant began to emerge. In 1898, the species was formally described and named by the American paleontologist Edward Drinker Cope. He gave it the name Arctodus simus, with Arctodus meaning bear tooth in Greek, and simus referring to its short-faced appearance. The choice of name was apt. The bear's teeth were indeed impressive, capable of crushing bones with ease, and its face, as reconstructed from fossil skulls, was strikingly different from modern bears, with a shorter snout that gave it a uniquely intimidating appearance. While Arctodus simus belonged to the same family as modern bears, the Ursidae, it was part of a now extinct subfamily called Tremarctinae, or short-faced bears. This subfamily once ranged across both North and South America, with Arctodus simus being the largest known member. Despite some similarities to modern bears, Arctodus simus had several unique features that set it apart. Like all bears, it was plantigrade, walking on the soles of its feet. It also had the heavy build and thick fur, characteristic of the bear family. However, its proportions and adaptations were quite different from any bear alive today. Arctodus simus wasn't just big, it was colossal. Standing on its hind legs, this bear could reach heights of up to 12 feet, making it taller than any land predator alive today. To put this in perspective, it would tower over even the largest modern bears. The largest known polar bear stood about 11 feet tall, while the famous Kodiak bears of Alaska typically max out at around 10 feet when standing. But height isn't everything. The estimated weight of Arctodus simus is truly staggering. Most estimates place adult males at between 1,600 to 2,500 pounds, with some exceptional individuals possibly reaching up to 3,500 pounds. For comparison, the largest recorded polar bear weighed about 2,209 pounds, while the heaviest recorded brown bear was a Kodiak that tipped the scales at 2,130 pounds. This massive size would have made Arctodus simus an incredibly imposing sight, easily rivaling the fictional King Kong in terms of sheer physical presence. Imagine a bear the size of a small car, capable of looking directly into a second-story window. What made Arctodus simus truly nightmarish wasn't just its size, but its specialized adaptations for hunting and killing. Unlike many modern bears, which are primarily omnivorous, Arctodus simus showed clear adaptations for a more carnivorous lifestyle. Its most distinctive feature was its short, broad snout, hence the name short-faced bear. This facial structure wasn't just for show. The shortened snout allowed for a more efficient bite, with some estimates suggesting it could exert forces of up to 2,100 pounds per square inch. That's strong enough to crush bones with ease and far exceeds the bite force of any modern bear. For comparison, the bite force of a grizzly bear is estimated at around 1160 psi, while a lion's is about 650 psi. The skull of Arctodus simus was also notable for its size and strength. Fossil skulls measure up to 18 inches in length, larger than those of even the biggest modern bears. The skull was reinforced to withstand the stresses of its powerful bite, with thick bones and strong muscle attachments. But Arctodus simus had more than just a powerful bite. Its limb structure was quite different from modern bears, with longer, more slender limbs relative to its body size. This build suggests that Arctodus simus was capable of greater speeds than modern bears, possibly able to reach speeds of 40 miles per hour or 64 kilometers per hour, or more in short bursts. Even more importantly, this limb structure indicates that Arctodus simus had impressive stamina. It could likely maintain a steady loping gait for long periods, allowing it to cover vast distances in search of prey or carrion. This combination of speed and endurance is more reminiscent of wolves than modern bears, hinting at a very different hunting strategy. Like modern bears, Arctodus simus likely had keen senses, particularly its sense of smell. Bears today have a sense of smell 7 times stronger than a bloodhound's, and there's no reason to think Arctodus simus was any different. This powerful sense of smell would have been crucial for detecting prey and carrion across the vast Pleistocene landscapes. Its vision and hearing were probably comparable to modern bears as well. While not as acute as some dedicated predators like cats, bear senses are generally well developed, allowing them to navigate and hunt effectively in a variety of environments. Many researchers believe that Arctodus simus was an active predator, using its size, speed, and stamina to run down large prey. Its diet probably consisted of the large herbivores of the Pleistocene, such as bison, horses, camels, and possibly even young mammoths or mastodons. Imagine a King Kong scene with Arctodus simus instead of a giant ape. Picture this enormous bear chasing down a herd of prehistoric horses or facing off against a woolly mammoth. The result would be no less dramatic or terrifying than the classic giant ape scenario. Arctodus simus was widespread across North America during the Pleistocene, with fossils found from Alaska to Mexico and from California to Virginia. This wide distribution suggests that it was highly adaptable, capable of surviving in various climates and ecosystems. The bear likely preferred open landscapes where its speed and endurance could be put to good use. Grasslands, tundra, and open woodlands would have been ideal habitats for this giant predator. However, fossils have also been found in more forested regions, indicating that Arctodus simus could adapt to a variety of environments. In the north, Arctodus simus would have shared its habitat with iconic Ice Age mammals like woolly mammoths, mastodons, and saber-toothed cats. Further south, it would have encountered animals more reminiscent of modern African savannas, including American cheetahs, camels, and giant ground sloths. To truly understand Arctodus simus, we need to consider the world it lived in. The Pleistocene epoch, often called the Ice Age, was a time of dramatic climate fluctuations. Vast ice sheets repeatedly advanced and retreated across North America, reshaping the landscape and influencing the distribution of plants and animals. During colder periods, much of northern North America would have been covered in tundra and cold steppes. Further south, there were vast grasslands teeming with herds of large herbivores. Forests were generally less extensive than they are today, particularly during the colder phases of the Ice Age. This environment was ideal for large predators like Arctodus simus. The open landscapes allowed for long-distance pursuits, while the abundance of large herbivores provided a rich food source. However, it was also a highly competitive environment. with Arctodosimus sharing its habitat with other formidable predators like dire wolves, American lions, and saber-toothed cats. As an apex predator, Arctodosimus would have had complex relationships with the other animals in its environment. It likely competed with other large carnivores for prey and territory. Its size would have given it an advantage in many of these interactions, allowing it to drive off smaller predators from kills. However, Arctodosimus wasn't invincible. In confrontations with other megafauna like mammoths or American lions, the outcome would have been less certain. These interactions might have resembled the dramatic confrontations we imagine with King Kong, with Arctodosimus battling other giant beasts in a prehistoric struggle for survival. Particularly intriguing is the potential interaction between Arctodosimus and early humans. The first humans arrived in North America, while Arctodosimus still roamed the continent. These encounters must have been terrifying for our ancestors, facing a predator that dwarfed anything known in the Old World. So the next time you watch King Kong climb the Empire State Building, take a moment to imagine a giant short-faced bear in its place. Picture it loping across the Pleistocene plains, facing off against mammoths or terrifying early humans. The sight might be different, but the awe and terror it inspires would be just the same.